We have take 2 minutes break. Now we are starting our the cyclone. Okay, now cyclone we have to start. It is a very big story, but I will break for you. Okay, now it is Dorothy. Now start the cyclone. The farm in Kansas. Dorothy lived in a little farmhouse in the middle of Kansas. She lived there with her Uncle Henry and Auntie Anne. The main characters are Dorothy, Uncle Henry, and Auntie Anne. Okay, Uncle Henry was a farmer, no? And the farmhouse was small. There was 4 walls, a floor, and a roof, which made just one room. In this room there was a place to wash things and a place to cook food. There was a cupboard for the dishes and a table. There was a 3 or 4 chairs and 2 beds. Uncle Henry and Auntie Anne had a big bed, means you can say double bed or triple bed in the one corner. Dorothy had a little bed in the another corner, means a single bed or double, and not double bed, single bed. Okay, single bed he had in the another corner. The only other thing in the house was a small door in the floor. I say you in the introduction, the last video, I say you storm sailors or the underground doors, or I think safe rooms. I said they make also storm sailors. No? The main name of underground rooms is storm sailors. No? So yes, I start. Was a small room in the floor. It was very large dark hole in the ground. It was called storm sailor. I tell you, storm sailor. If there was a storm called a cyclone, that was where Dorothy, Auntie Em, and Uncle Henry went. Dorothy stood at the door of the farmhouse. She could see the garden where Auntie Em grew vegetables. She could also see some sheds where Uncle Henry keep the cows and the horse. I tell you, Uncle Henry was farmer. No? And I'll start the story. After that, there was nothing but Uncle Henry fields in Kansas grass. There was no other families to visit or children to play with Dorothy. But Dorothy had someone special to play with her. He was a little dog named Toto. I tell you in the first learn, this is the Toto. Tell you, black color Toto. Dog. It was a dog. Yes. And he was this little dog. His name was Toto. He had long black hairs, small bright eyes, and a funny little cold wet nose. He have a little cold wet nose. No? Now we start. Toto played all day long and Dorothy played with him. Dorothy loved Toto very much. Okay. Now we have done the first page. Now you have to. This is a. You can see here the storm sailor come and Dorothy is here, but not Dorothy don't lose Toto. Okay, now we start. One day Uncle Henry was sitting at the open door of the farmhouse. Okay, and we have to start. Yes, we start now. Another of the farmhouse. He was looking up at the sky. He could see some big black house. Oh, black clouds. Dorothy was standing at the door. Yes, we start now. Yeah, Dorothy was standing at the door with Toto in her arms. She was looking at the sky. To Uncle M was washing the dishes from the north. Uncle Henry and Dorothy heard a noise of wind. They could see the long grass moving. Then they heard a noise of wind coming from the south. Now they looked that way. They saw small waves in the grass coming quickly towards them. There was a cyclone coming. Uncle Harney shouted to Auntie M, "Go down into the storm sailors." I go and looked after the animals and ran towards the shed. Uncle M stopped at the walk. She came to the door. Quick, Dorothy, she said. This is the excellent and the fantastic part. I love this part. Toto jumped out of Dorothy's arms. He did not like the bed. The little girl went to get him, and Auntie and plowed down into the storerooms. Dorothy catched Toto and turned to follow. She ran towards the cellar door. She had a wind making a very loud cellar door, and she heard the wind making a very loud noise. The house was shook. Dorothy fell over. Then yes. Dorothy catched Toto and turned to follow. She ran towards the cellar door. She heard the wind making a very loud noise. The house shook. Dorothy fell over. Then a strange thing happened. The house moved and turned round 2 or 3 times. Then slowly into the air. It feels like we are going up in a balloon, thought Dorothy. What was happening? Well, the north and south winds meet where the house stood. The house was at the center of the cyclone, in the middle of the cyclone. Now the air is still, but the wind rushes round and round on the outside. This cyclone lifted the little house. The house went up and up until it was high in the sky. The cyclone carries the house far away. It was dark and noisy inside the house. Toto did not like it. He ran about the room, barking loudly. But Dorothy found she was riding along quite easily. Now, she just sat on the floor. She waited to see what would happen. Once Dorothy got too near the cellar door. It was open and he fell through at the first. The little girl thought she had lost him forever. But soon she saw one of the ears of him sticking he through the hole. The cyclone was keeping him up so that he could not fall. She caught Toto by the ear and pulled him in. Then she closed the cellar door tightly. Yes, hour passed it. Dorothy began to feel less frightened. She went and lay down on her bed. Toto followed and lay down beside her. Dorothy closed her eyes. Soon they were both asleep. Now we have done the 2-page. Okay, now this is our 2-page, last 2-page. Then is the chapter The Scarecrow. Okay, now we read this chapter this page very fastly. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now in this both page is introduction of the Munchkins. Now in the Munchkins, the house hit the ground. Toto was frightened. He put his cold little nose into the Dorothy. Toto was frightened. He put his cold little nose into the Dorothy's face. Dorothy woke up. The little girl saw that the house was not moving anymore. Everything was quite brightly. Sunshine was coming through the door. It filled the little house with a golden light. Dorothy jumped from her bed and ran to open the door. There she gave a cry of surprise. When she looked it out, she could see that the house was not in Kansas. When the cyclone was not come, then his house was in Kansas. I tell you in the last video introduction, there in his house was in Kansas. Okay. Now you see, also standing at the door were some strange looking people. There was 3 men and a woman. There were 4 of all Munchkins. They looked quite old, but they were not taller than Dorothy. Anyone you can see now. Anyone you can see. This is her hair, a face. Now is Dorothy face. Now you can compare it is. As she is small, but he is not taller. They all of them you can see this people. They both are Munchkin. They all are Munchkin, but not Dorothy the Munchkin. Now they are both shorter than Dorothy. This is shorter. This is his face. This is Dorothy. This is shorter, but this is not shorter. The woman. Okay. Now we start. Then Dorothy. The men were dressed in blue clothes. The woman was dressed in white clothes. They all had pointed hats on their heads. When they saw Dorothy, they whispered to one another. Means they whisper. You can in the class when the Miss talks, you whisper, and your friends are how in your friends ear. That's also they do. Okay. Now we SMS. They looked at frightened. Then the little old woman walked up. Dorothy and both, welcome to the land of Munchkins. Most wonderful witch. It is a witch, but it is a good witch. She said, these people want to thank you for the killing of the wicked witch of East. This is the good witch of West. And you can see this is a foot. This is a foot of the wicked witch of East. The wicked witch of East was bad, and the good witch of East was good. Now we can again continue our story. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for the killing the wicked witch of East. You have set them free. Dorothy was surprised. You are very kind, but there must be some mistake. She said, I am not a witch. I have not killed anyone. Well, your house did. The witch said, your house killed the wicked witch of the East. Okay. Now we say again. Well, your house did, replied the little old woman with a laugh. Look, there are his feet. You can see them sticking out. Or they looked at it. It was true. 2 feet were sticking out from the under corner of the house, but the feet had silver shoes on. Okay. Oh dear, cried Dorothy. The house must have fallen on her. Who was she? The wicked witch of the East, answered the little woman. She made all these people the Munchkin her slaves, but now, because of you, they are free. Okay, now our story is done. The first chapter is done. Okay, now it is the scarecrow, but in this video we will not continue our scarecrow. Okay, we will not continue our scarecrow. In the second video tomorrow I will continue the scarecrow. Okay, bye.